Hello everybody and welcome to a new tutorials video. This one's gonna be about killing these new titans, as well as a couple of new things that these new titans have compared to the old titans. I want to preface this by saying that a lot of ways of killing these new titans are actually exactly the same as killing the old titans. It's all just a matter of getting used to their new shapes and their new behaviors. So we'll talk about their new behaviors first. Firstly, as many of you guys can most visibly see, the titans start looking at you when you get close enough to them, which means that not only does their head turn in the horizontal direction, but also in the vertical direction. The first thing that implies is that you can no longer do death from above, because if you do the same tactic, then not only do the titans start turning their bodies, as the old titans usually did, but they also start turning their heads, which then causes your death from above to actually start not working the way you'd want it to. So that's the first thing about behavior. Since these titans move their heads, it is no longer as easy to kill them. Now, death from above does work with a slight modification, and that is, rather than going all the way across with your hooks, which of course doesn't work, what you do is we let go of our hooks, then re-hook, and then attack the nape. And that is a surefire way to get the titan to not turn as much. It's not a guaranteed way to kill the titan, but it is a guaranteed way to make it easier. So that was the first behavior, titans moving their necks. Another behavior that these titans have recently started doing is they no longer walk straight towards you. They like zigzag on the path towards you, which means that equators are kind of difficult to do now if you're starting from the ground. But if you're in the air, if you're good enough with equator, then it shouldn't be that much of a big problem. The next behavior is exhibited by this titan here, and that is sitting down. Titans do this regularly, especially in city, for some reason, but it is quite prominent in forest as well. But they do like sitting down quite often. The thing with titans that are sitting down, I don't think this guy's sitting down again anytime soon, it's hard to aim where the nape is going to be, because if you think this is an easy kill and just run up to it, and then hook to it, and then you're like, oh, I got you. And as you approach it, it stands up, so you're like, oh crap, now what? So you can't do a generic back attack with these titans. So yeah, if these titans are sitting down, and it's actually really difficult to perfectly kill them, especially considering the different heights, like it's not really all that easy. With practice, it might be able to predict exactly where the nape is going to be when it stands up, but that is still a very, very dodgy method. See, because they do stuff like that. They stand up, they sit back down sometimes. It's just, really unpredictable. And I like that about these new titans, but in terms of killing them, especially for dummies, it should be fairly, fairly difficult. So yeah, sitting is usually quite difficult, but there is a new behavior, and this is the last behavior that Feng added to these new titans, and it's a new hit point. Where is it? It's at the back of the knee. So if I go ahead and attack the back of this guy's knees, you'll notice that he actually redoes the sitting animation, and for a much longer period of time as well, which means that he's practically open for you to kill right after that. And the back of the knees is really well defined by those big black lines. That is pretty much exactly where the back of the knees are. As for how to kill them the most efficiently, if you guys remember from tutorials number 8, the half cut was something that I featured quite prominently on there, and basically it's height balancing, except on a titan, and that is basically the easiest way to kill these new titans. Why? Because especially if you're new to them, you need to get used to where the napes are, and the napes are kind of in a weird position, it's actually the back of the neck now, as opposed to between the shoulders the way it used to be. And in order to get used to that, then basically you need a lot of aim. You need to be able to aim exactly where you want to go on the titan, and half cut is really good for that, because you just swing close to the titan using one of your hooks, then you balance and aim yourself with the second one, and yeah, you just get really used to where these napes are, and eventually it gets to the point where you're so used to where these napes are that you can actually start equatoring the titans the way most people do. You can start vector cutting them. It makes a lot more sense once you know where the napes are. And the easiest way to obtain that knowledge is by using half cuts to really position yourself and fly straight to the titan's nape. I mean, the way I learned how to kill these titans was ultimately to kind of hook it onto their cheek, then to their nipple, and then basically I just swing around and land right on the nape. And of course, the distance from the titan that you start with doesn't really matter, because of course for half equator, because of that second hook, you can balance regardless of how far away you are from the titan. So because of that, it's really, really nice. You just have to make sure that you are timing your hooks properly. So one to the cheek, one to the nipple, and you land right at the napes. And after you do that enough times, you kind of realize where the nape is. And so you can develop these really smooth kills and these really cool skills. That was a tongue twister. So yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. These Titans are difficult at first, but once you get used to them, they become really easy. So it's really just a matter of finding out where the napes are, getting used to them sitting down when you try and do a back attack, all that kind of stuff. And other than that, it's really quite simple. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, share with your friends and anyone else who you think will enjoy it or have something to learn from it. Comment, ask questions, be sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.